Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our SEUNGWOO career mode series here. Hope you guys enjoyed the 3 episodes that I got out to you guys while I was away. Sorry I couldn't record any other videos on top of that, but it is what it is. We'll work it all out. We should be back to a normal schedule, which I think I've said at least 12 times in the past month. So here's for hoping that this one actually does stick. Simulating in the first few games here just was not able to play. Obviously, we are not playing in the Champions League because Suarez is in the team, and then a few other games we haven't been playing in because of fitness and things like that. So here in the Champions League, Busquets actually ends up picking up a red card pretty early on and putting himself in a situation where he's going to miss the next game, obviously in the Champions League, which is definitely going to be a hinder to the squad. Especially as we end up drawing against Marseille there. Next game in La Liga is against Sevilla, and here I think I was sitting honestly mainly because I've been missing my goals. Even though we have been scoring a little bit more now, we're still not scoring, assisting, and playing as well as the team would like me to. So it's been a little disappointing, but we do end up getting a game here against Getafe, so giving ourselves an opportunity to go ahead and put our best foot forward and see if we can get a result here at home against Getafe in the league. So lineup is the usual as it always has been, at least in recent memory, playing up top with Vidal and Turan. We're working the ball pretty well in this game, nothing too crazy. The team's still not playing as good as I would like them to. Comes down to me as well as my teammates, I should say. So we're just trying to kind of work some stuff out. We're still on the top of the league. I'm playing better now than I was before, but still not as good as I can be. If I can get a little bit more consistent in how often I play, then obviously especially playing this series, it'll definitely help me to progress my player much more than I'm kind of giving myself the opportunity to actually progress right now. So like I said, top of the league still, so we are still doing really well, still in the Champions League, obviously. I think at this point we are into mid-March, or end of February, about to go into mid-March. Obviously because of international break and whatnot, there is going to be a little bit of a time jump, I believe, between this game and the next game. So if we can just keep getting the results, keep playing defense the way that we are, which the team's been playing really well, we're definitely putting ourselves in a really good position to hold off the rest of the league. But to do that as well, we need to be making sure that we are scoring more goals, winning more games instead of drawing games. Here that should have been an easy goal for me. Just got a little too close to the keeper whenever I tried to finesse it, and he was able to pull off a beautiful save. So the game is still 0-0 at this point in the 65th minute. I was really just trying to force the issue, press up pretty high on the defense, and just try to pull the ball away from them because of mistakes, but nothing was really working for me. I pushed that ball out to, I believe that is Messi in the game at this point. You guys will honestly be able to see that a little bit better than I am, but we struggled in this game. That was actually still Vidal. Messi ended up coming in the game right now, but we're still struggling. For whatever reason, Getafe's defense was incredibly strong and put up a really good fight against us. Even their offense played pretty well. I know there weren't really highlights for their side of the game, but we had so many opportunities to win this game. Obviously, as you see there, Bravo didn't have to make a save up till this point, and he didn't really have much to do. I mean, we were forcing the issue, like I said, really well, but at the same time, Getafe were able to do enough with the ball to keep it away from us long enough to hold out a result in this game. So here in the 90th minute, Getafe actually end up getting a free kick in a decent spot, nothing that's too threatening. They go ahead and try to go for goal, end up smashing that over the bar and leaving this game still at a 0-0 draw. So As you see, I took 5 shots so far in this game, 0 goals, which makes me trying to bring my goal to shot ratio down, or up rather. It's making it really difficult. I'm taking so many shots because I'm trying to score more goals, because we need more goals to win more games. But at the same time, I need to start focusing a little bit on my stats for the season, because the goals that I was given at the beginning of the season are really not coming to fruition, and I don't have much time left to actually grab these goals. So this is definitely something we're going to have to be focusing on here near the end of this season, as we're getting pretty close. Probably another 3 episodes left, I would imagine. So the game actually ends up ending in a 0-0. I get a 6.9 rating, 85% passing, 83% shooting. Still not good enough to go ahead and grab the victory there. I was just going ahead and looking through the team. Obviously their keeper got man of the match because he did play incredible and was able to keep that clean sheet for the squad. So going into the next game, as you see there, Celta Vigo, it's not that big of a game, but I always like to throw those in just so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Obviously sitting the next game as it is against Marseille. And we definitely needed to play a pretty strong team. Song ends up coming into the team because Busquets was not available. And we ended up drawing 1-1, but because they were able to grab the goal, that actually ended up knocking us out of the Champions League on away goals. So we are officially out of the Champions League, which means the league is all to focus for. Definitely want to make sure that we can give ourselves a good opportunity to go ahead and win the league as soon as possible. Here in the 9th minute of the game, Vidal is actually able to knock in his own rebound off of the keeper, which is incredibly difficult. Doesn't happen very often in this game, but he was able to do it, which was really impressive. And here in the 44th minute, we get another opportunity to go ahead and grab another goal. Just didn't end up working out for me to take that shot, and then it ended up falling to Vidal, who ends up smashing it over the ball. So really disappointing not to go 2-0 up against Real Betis here in the first half, but definitely playing well enough to go ahead and grab another goal in the second half. It was kind of my thinking here, because the team was playing incredibly well. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Playing a lot better than we did in that Getafe game, which may be motivation, just because we did just get knocked out of the Champions League on away goals. Probably like one of the worst ways to get knocked out. If you're going to lose, you may as well lose fully instead of something that is kind of fluky like that. So we end up going to the second half with a 1-0 lead in this game, just looking for another opportunity here. But they work their way into the box really well in the 60th minute. A gap ends up opening up in the miscommunicated defense, and they're able to grab a goal back and tie it up. Varela ends up tying the game at 1-1. So here in the 65th minute, we managed to run our way down into the box. I'm just trying to look for any sort of pass or any sort of shooting opportunity for me to grab a goal, and I actually end up getting taken out in the box in the 66th minute for a penalty. He ends up only getting a yellow card, not a red card, because there were other defenders in the area. So I go ahead and take my spot up to take the penalty, and we're just going to go ahead and try to smash that into the right. Ended up not pushing it nearly as far as I wanted to, but good penalty nonetheless, and we are able to grab a goal in this game. So like I said, we definitely need to start focusing on our stats coming up in the end of this season to make sure that we're still impressing the team, because if we don't, then we could end up getting put on the transfer list, which is kind of crazy to think. As an 83, 84 rated striker that we could be getting put up on the transfer list. But if we don't do what we need to get the challenges out of the way, the team is not going to be seeing it as us playing very well, and they would much rather keep a 90 rated Suarez over an 83 rated Lee Seung-woo. So hopefully we can grab some more goals here coming into the end of the season. Definitely going to be everything to play for in these last few games. So here we actually end up going up against a pretty decent squad. They're playing okay in the league. Obviously in real life, not one of the strongest teams in the world, but definitely a good team in FIFA career modes. If you guys have played in La Liga, you know what I mean. This is a team that is pretty resilient. Sometimes they'll end up kind of being a weak squad depending on transfer situations, but more often than not, they're pretty good going up against the bigger squads as well. So definitely a game that I think I could grab a goal from, but at the same time definitely knew it was going to be a game that was still going to challenge us a little bit, so we needed to put our best foot forward to ensure that we are still winning games, because even though I do want these stats to go up, I want to win the league a little bit more. So at the end of the day, whatever we need to do, even if it's me sitting and Suarez playing, if it gets us goals to win the league as fast as possible, I'm not against that idea, because then I end up in a better place because I can play with the pressure off of me. So long as we can stay in first place, I'm playing with much less stress. In that first half, we had 49% possession and only one shot, and it was not on goal. So definitely needed to play better in the second half. But as you see, there still weren't many highlights here in the 85th minute. It was our next best opportunity to score. I end up taking a shot. The keeper ends up rebounding it or saving it, and ends up getting rebounded onto Mascherano's forehead, who's able to grab the goal. And if you guys know any history about Barcelona, you know that Mascherano is one of the few players on that team that has never scored a goal. So, and in this career mode, it was the same way. This was his first official goal. So massive moment there, especially getting it in the 85th minute, ensuring that we could go ahead and grab the victory in this game. So going into extra time, or added time rather, we are able to kind of sit comfortably with a 1-0 victory, but we definitely wanted to pass the ball around to make sure that we could waste the time and not give them another opportunity to score a goal. Here I got the ball and just kind of wanted to give myself another opportunity to maybe grab an assist, but ended up not working out in my favor, and we end up getting a corner here. So last opportunity of the game, I just wanted to get that ball on the outside of the box. The defender is playing me a bit tighter than I would have liked, so I couldn't really find an opening in their defense. They had a lot of players sitting back, which is understandable, and that is how this game is going to come to a close. So we end up getting the 1-0 victory there, still top of the league, still playing incredibly well. If you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And as this winds down, like I said, a few more episodes left in this season. And then obviously we'll start getting back into the next season shortly after. This should be back to daily uploads, hopefully. No promises. We're getting into the crunch time about around a lot of things in my life, so that's kind of why it's been a little iffy on my uploading schedule. You guys are just watching the outro of that game, basically, just because I wanted a little bit more time to talk to you guys about what was going on. But we are back. We're playing well. We're getting near the end of the season, so if you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later.